Hello, and thanks for tuning into the show that goes around the continent to bring you stories near and far. I'm Joke Rogers at Channels Television here in Lagos, and I'm joined by Vincent McCory from the Voice of America in Washington, D.C.
Thanks, I'm Vincent McCory at the Voice of America. Happy to be with you again for another edition of Africa 54. Let's start off with the latest from Nigeria. Joke Rogers in Lagos brings you that story.
The Enugu state government in Nigeria's southeast region has called on donor agencies in the state to prioritize visibility and impactfulness while executing their projects. The secretary to the state government, Professor Chidi Onye, made this known at the commissioning of a rice processing plant built in partnership with the Agro-Processing, Productivity Enhancement and Livelihood Improvement Support, a World Bank-assisted project under the World Bank Appeals Program. In addition to the rice plant, the team also commissioned a cashew processing and aggregation center in Enugu West senatorial zone of the state, where he also gave assurances of the government's commitment to assisting with their goals in the field of agribusiness.
It's the commissioning of rice and cashew aggregation and processing centers in different parts of Enugu State to serve as common user facility, and both rice and cashew farmers are present to witness it. The World Bank assisted project was built within the 100 days of Governor Peter Mba's administration, which according to the state government is a demonstration of its commitment to achieving food sufficiency in the state. The secretary to the state government, who is standing in for Governor Mba, inspects the facility.
Officially commissioned this project.
He thereafter leads the team to officially commission the plants for use.
I urge other donor-funded organizations to work hard to achieve visible and impactful results like what we are witnessing here today. We look forward to the maximum use and sustainability of the appeals processing centers here in Nara and other aggregation and processing centers at other locations in the state.
The coordinator of the Enugu Agro-Processing, Productivity Enhancement and Livelihood Improvement Support Appeals gives an insight of the capacity of the plants they have built.
We do the milling first, and then we do the polishing, and then the destoning, and then the grading, where it comes out in different sizes, and finally the scaling or weighing and packaging. These are the stages, and all these stages are complete with what we supported the Nara Processing Center and all other rice processing centers in Enugu State.
For the people, having a rice plant in the state is a game changer.
I'm so happy it is built here in Omeba to represent the whole Nara Unateza clan.
In addition to the rice plants, the team also commissioned the cashew processing and aggregation center in Eziagu, Enugu West senatorial zone of the state.
Processing of cashew here, we put the name of Enugu State and the map of those who export pure, good and refined cashew.
As the state government promises more initiative to grow the agricultural sector, farmers in the state are seeking for more attention on funding and bush clearing, amongst other things, to ensure farming on a large scale.
Let's get more on this. Joining us from Abuja for a deeper look into this topic is the President, National Cashew Association of Nigeria, Mr. Ajanaku Ojo. Thanks for joining us on the program today.
Thank you for having me.
What's the significance of, the World Bank Appeals Project for cashew farmers across Enugu State, and of course for other states where the project is being implemented by the bank?
Yes, the Appeals for Project is a good initiative. The appeal project of the World Bank is a good initiative, and Enugu has taken advantage of it, and they are doing very well in that area. So I think it's a very good initiative.
Right, and will the cashew farmer be able to feed this cashew processing plant to enable it perform optimally? How is it supposed to be processed?
Let me take it from the the time of Dr. Michael Opara, the former Eastern governor, they set up a factory there, right, in the 50s, in Oge Aziz in Enugu. And that was made to consume all the cashew that is being produced in Enugu state for forward processing and if possible export. The purpose of this appeal fund for choosing cashew majorly because cashew is an exportable product. So it is targeted on cashew. You have three products. You have the poultry and you have the rice. But for cashew, it is targeted on export. So it's a good advantage for the farmers in that area to be able to, they now have a good market for it because the project, the aggregation, the project will help to aggregate what the farmers are producing in that area.
And right, if I may ask you, because of the position that you occupy, how is the, export market for cashew in Nigeria? What do we have on ground now? How good is the market?
The market of cashew is looking very good, and it's a seasonal thing, like it's a yearly transaction. Last season was good, and we expect that this season will also be good. Reason being that the farmers will, like what we are having in cocoa for this time. The price of cocoa this year is selling as high as 5.20 million naira per ton in Lagos price. So we are also believing that the farmers will make a lot of good money this year. Maybe reason because of the exchange rate. So the farmers will definitely make something good this year from the program. But we are also mindful of the demand from the outside world, which consume the cashew very well. The price of cane has dropped internationally, but let's see how everything goes. But we believe that it's going to be a good trade this year.
And so talk to us more about this agro-processing productivity enhancement, and livelihood improvement support, otherwise known as appeals of the World Bank. It has made, the dreams of many farmers come true. How much more do you think such partnerships like this will spur the agro-allied business in Nigeria? Is the World Bank support sufficient, or do we still need support from other agencies such as the World Bank to help in other areas?
Yeah, the appeal format, as the name is, agro-processing productivity enhancement. It is made to help encourage the productivity, the processing, and enhance the ability of that product. So I think the project, the only concern I have is, anything that is coming as a loan, because looking at the valuation of our money today, it is also a liability on the government of Nigeria to repay back this loan to the World Bank, where the money actually comes from. But for the benefit of the project, it's a very good one, because it's going to help the community. It is going to help farmers to grow more, to produce more.
Why do we have to borrow to do this? Why can't the government, help the farmers on their own, knowing that this kind of crop, once it's exported, is going to be a good foreign exchange earner, and then the farmers can begin to pay the government back instead of us paying back, donor agencies?
It's a cash crop, like I said. Cashew. The target of this appeal project on cashew is to use cashew to raise foreign hard currency. Let me use that language. Now, it is going to help in bringing in this hard currency, and that will also help the government to be able to raise money from that side and see what they can see to pay. But my own fear is, putting pressure more on Naira again by taking money. Why not us look inwardly to, because what the appeal fund is doing for us currently in Nigeria, I think it is what the government of the days, if they critically take advantage of the potential we have in cashew and want to invest in cashew with the bigger resources we have, and I think we can do more. We will be able to do better than what we are currently doing.
We want to know what you think about Africa 54 and the stories we cover. Join the conversation on Facebook. The address is Africa 54 and check out our headlines 24/7 on voaafrica.com. Welcome back to Africa 54. I'm Vincent McCory in Washington. The United Nations says 1 million people have fled Sudan, confounding expectations about the scale of the exodus triggered by the country's war, while some neighboring states such as Chad and South Sudan welcome refugees. Others such as Egypt and Eritrea are pushing them away. Henry Wilkins reports from Rank, South Sudan and Adre, Chad.
In recent months, South Sudan has received hundreds of thousands of the displaced, mostly returnees of South Sudanese origin, who pass through the town of Renk on the Sudan border here.
I just fled without anything in hand. I wasn't able to take anything from my home. We were living in a makeshift tent, so when the bombs started to fall on our compound, we fled as fast as we could.
As thousands continue to arrive in South Sudan every week, Egypt, on Sudan's northern border, has effectively stopped refugees from entering the country. Initially, it allowed around 250,000 to cross its border, but a new rule in June required Sudanese to obtain a visa to enter.
Egypt is also experiencing serious economic crisis, and as a result, it is very, very careful on the number of people it's allowing in. And I think this is where, countries like the United States need to lean on Egypt and UNHCR to ask the Egyptian authorities to allow the Sudanese to come in. But that is not enough.
He added that donor countries must increase humanitarian funding to Egypt if they expect the country to begin taking refugees again. Other Sudanese neighbours, including Libya and Central African Republic, have their own security problems, and few are seeking refuge in either country. Fleeing to Eritrea on Sudan's eastern border would be an even worse choice for those seeking to escape the war, according to Eritrea Focus, a UK-based human rights group. The government is known as one of the most authoritarian and isolated regimes in the world, sometimes referred to as the North Korea of Africa.
And indeed, the president has said that the Sudanese people are welcome to come to Eritrea. How many Sudanese have actually taken that offer is unknown. And why would anybody want to seek refugee in Eritrea?
As international aid groups are not active in Eritrea, it's unclear whether any Sudanese refugees have arrived in the country. But even for those who have managed to escape, like Bokra Hassan Abdallah, who recently arrived in Chad, the difficulties do not end.
We were forced to abandon our homes due to attacks by Janjaweed. As you can see, our current circumstances are a result of this displacement. Regrettably, I had to leave without my identity documents.
As options for where to flee narrow, the number of internally displaced in Sudan is approaching 4 million, almost 4 times the number of refugees. Henry Wilkins for VOA News, Adre, Chad.
A publisher in Kenya is using artificial intelligence technology to help make education more accessible and affordable. Victoria Munga reports from Nairobi.
The cost of books and materials is too high for many poor Kenyans who want to get an education. Books for the school year can cost more than $100, more than many can afford to pay. To help, Longhorn Publishers in Kenya created an online platform called Loho Learning. It is enabled by artificial intelligence and helps users access all textbooks and videos for $15.
So the first product that we came up with was e-books, because books make one of the core elements of learning within the education curriculum. Secondly is comprehension. So books alone don't get learners to meet their learning objectives. You also need technology to help ensuring that there is understanding within classroom.
The Loho Learning platform is available both online and offline to help those who have no or limited access to internet.
Let me take a subject like science, integrated science, where they learn about, finding the pH of various things at home. So in our virtual lab, we have simulations that enable them to do that, so they can, drain those solutions and measure the pH. So that is making it more live than what they just read in a book.
Officials say more than 25,000 students like Susan Namtosia are using the platform, including camp refugees and people living in remote areas.
Reading online is easy to understand simply because the notes are specifically arranged and you can get them easily. But reading the textbook, you can waste a lot of time by searching for the notes. The washing away of the soil.
According to the UNESCO Institute for Statistics, Sub-Saharan Africa has the highest rate of education exclusion. Over 1/5 of children between the ages of 6 and 11 are out of school. The Kenyan government says it will be implementing reforms to help increase attendance in primary schools. Innovators like Onganga say artificial intelligence can change traditional learning and reduce the equity gap in education. Victoria Amunga, VOA News, Nairobi.
Nigerian officials say they hope to create millions of jobs and much cleaner air through the country's energy transition plan. At the Africa Climate Change Summit, officials discussed their initiative to transition from firewood and coal to natural gas and other environmentally friendly sources of energy. Timothy Obezo reports from the Nigerian capital, Abuja.
Restaurant owner Wumi Adedoyin launched her business in Abuja 4 years ago. She runs the family business with help from her children, but their only source of cooking fuel is firewood.
Nowadays, people they use firewood again.
Nowadays, people don't use firewood, but I don't have money to buy gas. That's why I use the firewood. See my eyes? The smoke is affecting me, but there's no money.
Adedoyin often uses cheap drugs to get some relief from nasal congestion and pain in her eyes as a result of constant exposure to smoke. Firewood is the primary source of energy for cooking in homes and many commercial outlets in Nigeria. The country's Statistics Bureau estimates 70% of households depend on it despite health and environmental concerns, including the release of carbon into the atmosphere, one of the triggers for climate change that has left African countries more prone to droughts and flooding. Nigerian officials are trying to change that with government-backed energy transition plans, initiatives that encourage Nigerians to switch from firewood and coal to more eco-friendly energy sources like natural gas. Officials say they also hope to create millions of jobs through the establishment and expansion of industries related to solar energy, hydrogen, and electric vehicles. Nigerian climate change activists joined counterparts from around the world to demand climate action and compel authorities to give priority to cleaner energy sources.
Our economy here in Nigeria is fossil-based, but the dangers associated with fossil fuels, they are more than what we are getting from fossil fuels. We are losing our people on a daily basis as a result of the investments of our leaders and other foreign investors on fossil fuels.
13-year-old John Femitayo says he is concerned about the future of the environment in Nigeria and elsewhere.
I'm worried because if they do not do something about it now, it might affect my future and others' futures too.
Adedoyin and Femitayo say they will be watching to see if the government initiative can change their lives for the better. Timothy Obezu, VOA News, Abuja, Nigeria.
Winners have emerged in the first series of Channels Television social enterprise reality TV show, Fund It Forward. Valentine Okole of Batch and Moen Limited won the grand prize of 30 million naira, beating Tara Aisha Atta of Kola Sustainable Solutions and Ayodele Irinle of Agrify, who also won 15 million naira and 10 million naira each. The show, designed to nurture emerging social enterprises, featured 12 change agents who sought business training opportunities, mentorship, and most importantly, funding for their brilliant business ideas. Our correspondent, Darido, reports.
It's a journey that kicked off with 12 change agents, as they're called. They kept their eyes on developing a business model that is scalable, impactful, and sustainable.
I want to create value for my customers or deliver this.
Week in, week out, the agents go through the rigorous learning processes, get to pitch their big ideas, and with the help of different coaches drawn from various fields, their ideas are polished.
High-collar sustainability solutions journeyed all the way to Ijebu-Ode in Ogun State.
The show follows the real-world stages of building an impact-driven business. Competition comes with the territory, and only 3 agents made it to the final.
It's the final and decision day for Channel Social Enterprise Program Funded Forward. It's been an intense couple of weeks with a lot of learning and a special experience, a life-changing experiences for all the agents who are now better equipped for the future. Today there will be a winner. 1 out of the 3 finalists will emerge the winner of the show. Business leaders, founders, CEOs, and top company executives are here to be part of the epoch-making event.
We've been blessed to have some remarkable contestants, or as we call them, change agents, here with us. All of them took a leap of faith, and they came with us on this new ride, and I sincerely hope it's on to bigger and better for them. I know I couldn't have even lasted 1 round in the judging room. We want to support them beyond the show, and I hope that once you hear more about them, you'll want to support them as well.
For the chairman and CEO of Channels Media Group, Dr. John Momoy, it's been a worthwhile journey on the show, and it's a great opportunity to celebrate a special night.
It's my absolute pleasure to extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to each one of you at this splendid soiree. And as we gather here tonight, surrounded by the enchanting ambience and the company of distinguished guests, let's take a moment to appreciate the beauty of coming together, to celebrate, connect, and create unforgettable moments. Whether you're here to meet new faces, catch up with old friends, or enjoy the evening's offerings, we are very thrilled to have you with us. Every one of you is special to the Channels family. Let this night be a testament to the joys, as Zemi said, of camaraderie, the elegance of gathering, and the endless possibilities that arise when great minds and warm hearts share the same space. Thank you, and indeed, thank you very much for being here, for bringing your unique energy to this gathering, and for being an integral part of what promises to be a truly remarkable evening, filled with joy, with laughter, and with memorable moments.
And there were more words of encouragement supporting social entrepreneurship in the country.
The reality is that for a country like Nigeria, for us to truly move forward, we need a ton of social entrepreneurs. And what you've created here today as a platform to mainstream and normalize the fact that you can be a social entrepreneur and still be a good person for society.
From food production, agribusiness to sustainable energy solutions, the 3 finalists make their final pitches.
Just knowing something I'm going to do is going to benefit more than myself, it's a win for me already.
We have 65% of the world's arable land, all the land in the world, but today we can barely feed ourselves.
We've processed 14,429 tons of cassava in our local method using our no waste policy. I think we deserve some carbon credit on that. Yes.
And it's time for the biggest moment of the show. Winner of the first season of the series is announced.
The grand winner of the ultimate 30 million Naira grand prize for season 1 of Fund It Forward is Batch and Moine Limited. Congratulations. AKA the Bachaman.
Congratulations, Valentine Okoli, the founder of Batch and Moen. He is the winner of Season 1, Funded Forward. And you can see an excited woman.
I feel grateful. In fact, right now I feel powerful. I think that's the summary of it. But it's not by just physical strength. Grace of God. I learned, I unlearned, and now it's time to put in the work.
It's been a long 2 months. Just always thinking it will be you that week. Being that I've been called almost every week. But then I'm also grateful for that because it pushed me to do more.
I think Funding Forward should become something that the Nigerian government does, because I know how to explain it, like most people are doing tech ideas that you make money for yourself, but through platforms like Funding Forward, they're actually thinking about people. You have to think clearly about your social impact, and it's such a different way to think about building a business, and I'm just very grateful to have come this far in the competition.
Funded Forward is a one-of-a-kind social enterprise-focused reality TV show by Channels Media Group, where young business leaders are expected to benefit not only from the funding, but also the invaluable guidance from industry experts. Dari Idowu, Channels Television News.
Well, and that's our show for today. You can find all the continent's top news and world news online at voaafrica.com. Check it out. I'm Vincent McCory in Washington. Channels Television has our last word.
We look forward to bringing you another show next week. To remember, channelstv.com is your source for news and other programming. I'm Joke Rogers. Thanks for watching and goodbye.